All right. This is not the right camera. Give me a second here. Shit don't like me none. Now we're cooking. Cool. In bed there, big man. Just 1, 2. Let's make sure the audio is correct, because if the other one, okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into it. Welcome back to another TikTok Trash Tuesday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I am doing well. The new job is underway here and everything, which has been kind of good. And that's given me Tuesdays off. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. So that means that I can remain to be doing the TikTok Trash Tuesday here. If you're not aware of what that is every week I go out to the TikToks there. And I pick out movie TikToks. That's right. Movies, just specifically movies TikToks. I don't really want to go into a whole bunch of politics or other things, but occasionally some of that kind of overlaps just because of whatever. But you know, it's not the intention, it's not the goal to kind of do any of that stuff. It's that's a little bit boring, or at least not for this website. I'll tell you that much. But I go and I look at people's movie takes, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and some of them, the majority of them, I don't really know anything about them because I just grab them. I see a little bit of it and I go, oh, that's about movies and stuff, and I save it on my phone just for such an occasion like TikTok Trash Tuesday. And we do other stuff on this website as well. So if you are watching this at a later date, just remember that we stream this bad boy at 8 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday over here on YouTube, and our regular show on Sunday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is our regular half-ass movie podcast. This month we are doing a Thanksgiving Candy, all John Candy films during this Thanksgiving month here and everything. And we start off with John Candy, I Like Me, the new documentary that is on Prime right now. We did a whole giant episode reviewing that movie and everything. So if you'd like to check that out, head on over to that side of the YouTubes and like, subscribe. And for heaven's sake, if you're watching this at whatever time, do me a big giant favor. Hit the like button. It's one of those really silly things that you don't think about. We all watch tons and tons of videos on YouTube. So rarely do we actually go through and take the little time to hit that like button. And I'm here to tell you that hitting that like button makes that difference. And you know, it makes the algorithm go, oh, other people would like to see this. So we really appreciate that and appreciate all of you. And while you're here, man, why don't you do me a giant favor? Hit them Fortress bucks. Oh yeah, those are always good. That kind of just helps flow this channel along even better. And I got to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. You got to like, I'll say this, you know, we're not floating in it here at Camp HMP. I'll tell you that. But this is the fastest. So like in order for YouTube, like to kind of pay you out every month, you have to make at least a minimum of $100. And I've now gone to 100 faster than I ever have in a month. You know, that's outside of like, you know, when the popcorn video hit gigantically. But things are going up, and it's because of all of you fine folks liking, subscribing, and doing all of those great things. And I appreciate you. Love you. Thank you so much. Let me get all my stuff together here, and we can start this here TikTok Trash Tuesday properly. Let me put chat up here. All right, let's get into it. It's another TikTok Trash Tuesday. Let's go.
The Silence of the Lambs sucks. Halloween is tomorrow night.
Okay, we are off to a crazy start here. When you start off with Silence of the Lambs sucks, you better have something to back that one up, my friend. Let's go.
I've been doing a video every single day this week leading up to the big one. Our penultimate film is The Silence of the Lambs. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I did not like it. Nowadays, people like to rage bait to get the comments going, especially with film takes. I want to be clear, this is not that, but...
Well, you got onto TikTok Trash Tuesday one way or the other, my friend, so count yourself lucky.
Please If you would like to, light me up in the comments, because that's only going to help the algorithm right now. But I'd love to actually have a discussion about this film if you're interested. Now, there's a lot of things I could say that I did not like about this film, but I want to be honest and just say that I think a lot of it was just it not meeting my super lofty expectations.
We talk about this very often on this channel, is that a movie is, you cannot be disappointed when a movie is not what you had inside of your head. And that can be a problem with a lot of movies and stuff like that, especially ones that are kind of considered classics, like Silence of the Lambs is these days. It's tough. It's a tough one to swallow because you've heard all of these things, and the hype has been built up so much that you also then lose context because you're watching something, but you're not thinking about the time with which it was out, what was out, at that particular time and previous to that time. And you've probably seen so many things that have been iterative of that work that you just kind of go like, oh, well, I've seen all this before. Well, you've seen all this before because it was done so many other times in other medium. That's the kind of fun thing about this that I think a lot of people don't realize. It's like, oh, well, this is rote. Well, it's rote now. It wasn't rote 30 years ago when they did it. No one was doing it then. Now everybody's doing it, so it seems rote. It's the same thing with like everything from found footage stuff to, we'll call. I'll just put it out like Fight Club stuff like that.
To be honest, I could never take Hannibal Lecter seriously. He's just a little bit too weird and not.
That's psychotic, is what we call that, my friend. He doesn't blink the entire film. Great Hopkins choice.
Not scary, just odd. But I'll see y'all tomorrow for the final film of my Halloween.
I just didn't like it. That's his main critique of this. Didn't like it. Didn't care for it. Outside of that, read in your own conclusions, I suppose.
Week series.
Tarantino often gets criticism for ripping off movies, not having original ideas, and stealing movie titles, shot styles. What argument would you have against those claims, or do you agree to an extent?
Okay. Listen, if he wasn't actively telling you that he was taking inspiration and then, showing that inspiration on screen and morphing it and changing it into his own kind of his own special thing, I think he's absolutely allowed to do that. I think that kind of, for lack of a better word, remixing art is fantastic, and especially if it's art that you guys don't know. And here's the deal: like, there's a lot of classical music that when you go back and listen to it, you're just like, oh my God, John Williams 1000% ripped this off for Star Wars. But what does it really matter? Like it's the same sort of like it's a lot of that sort of stuff. It's the same, but it's different. But you can clearly, while listening to this stuff, go, oh yeah, this was clearly an inspiration for Star Wars, for the music for Star Wars, and a lot of John Williams music in general. It's out there, but if it's out there and you're kind of wear it on your sleeve, certainly like Tarantino does, I can't see any real problem with that. But I'm sure someone's going to have a dirty opinion.
Quentin Tarantino is one of the most celebrated directors and writers of the last 35 years. Almost all of his movies have been moneymakers, big moneymakers for studios, telling original stories in genres that typically aren't very popular, and he makes them into popular films that get great reviews and a bunch of Oscar nominations.
Yeah, you know what that's called? Successful filmmaking, as far as I'm concerned.
The counter argument to Quentin Tarantino is one of the best of all times is he's just stealing from other movies.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is Billy Corgan stealing from Mozart because he knows A, B, C, D, E, F, and G? Because those are your notes. This, being very marketed simple. But is he stealing his stuff? I don't know that that's necessarily true.
I think you have to know the difference between an homage and stealing. Reservoir Dogs steals the plot of City on Fire.
The difference is in City on Fire, City on Fire is a far bigger action movie than Reservoir Dogs is. What they're describing in Reservoir Dogs is kind of what happens in City on Fire, but you don't see it because he couldn't afford to do that stuff. So he's like, it's not City on Fire, but like, I'm going to make something, the idea, the kind of diamond robbery and stuff like City on Fire, but it's going to be my own thing and it's going to be through my own lens. Because when you watch City on Fire, you don't go like, all of this dialogue reeks of Quentin Tarantino. No, it's broad, basic strokes and stuff that he took. Even if you could call it that. I didn't even call it that. I'm telling you, when I look back at it, I was just like, I mean, maybe if you squint your eyes a little bit, you can see some stuff, but no.
People go, he just ripped off this Hong Kong movie. That's all he did, and people treat him like he's brilliant. If you watch City on Fire and Reservoir Dogs, if you think they're the same movie, you're an idiot.
Thank you. I'm so glad he said it, and I'm so glad I said it ahead of time to make it not look like I was jumping on a bandwagon. That's right, boys and girls. I give you my opinion ahead of time.
Same way that if you think that Star Wars is the same thing as Hidden Fortress, you're an idiot.
Also correct.
The influences in both cases are very much on George Lucas and Quentin Tarantino's sleeve. It's very obvious where they got certain shots.
But did they steal it? No.
Characters' structures from, then they put their entire spin on it. There's not a single Quentin Tarantino movie that anyone else could make. Every single Quentin Tarantino movie has the flavor, the style, the pizzazz of Quentin Tarantino. He brings his own flavor, his mind, his ideas to his movies. His movies are also celebrations of the movies that he loves.
Thank you. Yes, that is also a very important thing to note in this particular case with his use of homages and all of these things. Again, they're coming from places of love. It's not coming from a like, hey, I'm ripping this off and no one's ever going to know about this. There's a couple of scenes, especially throughout Kill Bill and stuff like that, where you're just going, oh, he stole from, like he's going, I'm taking from this and I'm making my own little spin on it, my own new thing. And it's great. It absolutely works. It's not plagiarism. It's just, remaking the hits.
This is a guy who's an encyclopedia of knowledge of global cinema, and he's pulling from everything. And then somebody...
And is it really stealing, or are you really super upset if you haven't seen the thing that he's stealing from, so to speak? I'm using the word lightly, whatever, you know what I mean, but most of the things that, like, when you hear him talking about it, you're just like, well, I don't know what the hell that is. And that's what's so great about Tarantino is you can listen to the man talk, and he's going to come up with a lot of great film recommendations and stuff for you. So, listen to what he says, watch the things that he's doing. And then when you find out, like, oh, this is from this sort of thing, then how about you go and seek that thing out and go, oh, now I get it.
Watches a compilation on the internet that was compiled because Quentin Tarantino tells you all of his influences, and you just watch a compilation and you go, oh, he's just ripping all these people off. Like, it's not a real criticism. It's stupid internet stuff trying to be smarter than other people and trying to win debates by stealing other people's research.
I agree with this. I'll be honest with you. I thought that video, when I saved it initially, I thought it was going to go into deep, Tarantino hate lore and everything. I was ready to go in, but pleasantly surprised. Very nice. What's next?
So this video is a follow-up video to a previous video that I posted comparing these two TVs.
Okay. An HD CRTV is better than a 4K TV. Now, I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to talk about this because I'm into home theater and stuff like that. And I was actually working at Best Buy when TVs like this Sony here, which, by the way, is, I promise you, this TV right here in this thing weighs over 200 pounds. That is not an exaggeration. That is not me bullcrapping you in any way, shape, or form. That bad boy right there weighs just about, if not over, 200 pounds. I know because we've had to lift them before, and the poundage, it was on the box, and I broke one. I might tell that story one day. What? Not quite one that was as nice as this one was. It was a standard definition tube television that was 38 inches, and it was it weighed 220 pounds. It's unbelievable. But do I think that a tube TV looks better than a 4K TV? I think there could be some dependent factors in play, but by and large, I'm going to say no, but I'm interested to see what his reasoning is.
I compared them, I was comparing the value, basically how...
Oh, the value? Well, shit, you can get one that's on the side of the road for $0 with the HD CRT. People don't want them anymore. But here's the thing, not for nothing, high definition TVs don't cost jack squat today. There is a Hisense 98-inch television right now that's the same model that I had from last year. 98 inches, it's $1,500. It's a gorgeous looking TV, and it's 98 inches. Like, you can get a really decent 50-inch television for under $400. The TVs are too expensive excuse. It's out the window, bro. Anybody that's out there, if you are watching a television that is more than 10 years old, get yourself in gear, man. Go out, get yourself a high definition television that is worth a crap. It won't cost you just a couple $100 tops.
I got this one cheap. This one was expensive, and now this one is expensive, and this one is cheap. So basically, I also said in that video that I preferred this TV over that TV, even though clearly all my audio is set up on that TV. One reason I do prefer this TV is it has excellent built-in speakers. That's one bonus.
Listen, it was Sony, Trinitrons. They put out some good speakers in those bad boys, no doubt.
Also, contrast, the black levels are better than on the 4K TV.
Doubt. They're good. I mean, maybe if you got a really cheap shit 4K TV, the blacks on the CRT are better, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
Color accuracy is better on the CRT.
Do you have spectrometers, or are you measuring stuff? Because if you're not, like, I'm sorry, I don't care what, you're just kind of talking out your ass.
The motion clarity is phenomenal, and not to mention,
well, because it's
mention the latency, the response time, even.
Oh, fuck off! The latency, get ripped, dude. You're talking out your ass here. You're. Oh my god.
Even though that TCL rates for 12 milliseconds, this, even with the processing, is like 2 at.
Okay, then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you, a fucking professional Tekken player? If not, like, what do you even care? What's the difference? You'll never notice it. You'll never see it. You're full of crap. And listen, I'm a bull crapper, so I get it.
Most. So yeah, that's why the CRT.
Okay, well. Good.
And Halloween's over. What are you going to be watching next? If you have nothing to watch, I implore you to spend time watching some noir films this Noir-vember.
Noir-vember, something I've always kind of liked. I've heard some things before. I don't know that I've fully participated. I've watched a couple here and there on November for sure, but I've never kind of sat down and been like, oh, let's roll through this. I will say this though, for November and all noirs and stuff, and they usually have a pretty good selection all year round. But specifically also during this time, the folks over the Criterion channel do a big giant noir stuff. So if you want to go check out that, and they've got noir from all over, not just the ones that you're going to recognize, all your Double Indemnities, Big Sleeps, and that kind of stuff. A lot of deep cuts.
So what exactly is Noir-vember? Noir-vember is a holiday of sorts that was created in 2010 by Mara E. Gates, a film critic and a film writer who
sounds about right.
Coined the term for people to watch more film noirs. Noirs are typically a stylized psychological crime thrillers from the 40s, 50s that predate the 60s. Full of a film noir would be one of my favorites, Otto Preminger's Laura. Is a film about a detective who is assigned to a murder case, but it takes more of a professional interest in the victim than the actual case at hand. Example would be 1953's The Big Heat, directed by Fritz Lang.
Good one.
Suspicious death of a former cop, a homicide detective takes matters into his own hands to investigate a very suspicious crime syndicate. We could talk about the 60s and the 70s and how that visual language was carried over into neo-noirs after the abolishment of the Hays Code, which really put a lot of
my favorite Looney Tunes joke was the first episode with Tweety on it, right? Before he was really, I think he wasn't even technically called Tweety at that point. But the first Tweety episode, he's going up against two cats who are essentially Abbott and Costello. And the Abbott and Costello characters, essentially, that's what I'll call them. They're trying to get him, and they're being foiled by every turn, as you might imagine. And so the one that's playing Abbott is out there, and he's screaming at him. He goes, "Show me the bird! Show me the bird!" And the one that's playing Costello goes, "If it weren't for the Hays Code, I'd show him the Boyd." I was like, oh my God. For the time, unbelievable. I was just like, that's a really dirty joke for a time with which you are not allowed to say anything remotely dirty.
Restrictions on motion pictures. Here we get a lot of great movies, from Chinatown to Blade Runner to The Long Goodbye. This goes on to really influence a lot of the modern movies that we enjoy, like Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai from 1999, or even No Country for Old Men, with the influence of noir all over the place. So what are your favorite noirs, and what are you going to be watching this Noirvember?
I like... Shut up, man. I wasn't ready. I like DOA. DOA is a really good one. I like... I'd have to go into my stupid little vestibule there and figure out all my stuff. I just, I put myself in a blank there. I just became, cashew nut. Here we go. Movie studios making movies based off books.
Read the books before buying the rights to the book. Read is very controversial. I'm dyslexic, so I find it offensive that you would ask that. Yeah, we have a group of writers that's extremely passionate about making money, so they didn't pay attention to the book at all.
Well, no. Why would you? Money's more important than that.
Low-key, I didn't even know it was a book before I signed on, so...
Listen, I didn't know this Lion, the Witch, in the Wardrobe was based upon a book. I thought for sure it was like an SNL sketch.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. We had like one dude who skimmed it on the production team, and we all kind of thought he was a nerd, so we kicked him off. No, the tone is not the same. I mean, we really needed to sell this to families and kids, so this really graphic, disturbing thing, we just made it kind of awful.
Wouldn't it be amazing if they were just like, listen, we'll let you make Sin City, but it's got to be PG. We want a faithful Frank Miller adaptation. PG.
Have I ever read a Batman comic before? Yeah, like in the newspaper, right? Yeah.
Accurate.
The actor we had for the show, he was really passionate about it, cared a lot about it, and so much so people thought he was kind of toxic for caring about like what the writers were doing. We canned him.
Which, by the way, speaking of that kind of writers thing and everything, I'm to understand, I read a big giant article on it here and everything, is that the reason that the latest season of Daredevil is as good as it is, and all of the John Barenthal Punisher stuff is as good as it is due to one John Barenthal. It sounds, from all accounts, it sounds like John, outside of Cox there and everything. It sounds like he was the one who was just like, listen, I'm a big fan of this Frank Castle guy. I'm going to go through, I'm going to rewrite some stuff. I'm going to put all this stuff in there. All of those scenes and everything, that was him. He wrote all of that stuff. Very impressive.
Canned him. Listen, we're the smart ones that keep making millions of dollars. So what? It's not enough to break budget.
That's the problem. And as I say, week after week, that is the problem. These people, they are spending way too much money and going, we're not getting our money back. It's like, yeah, you spent a kingdom and a half for something that you knew was probably going to be garbage. Are we just producing the whole thing, Albert or Mel Brooks style here and everything, where we're just producing flops on purpose so we can have write-offs? Is that what we're doing? I don't know. What's next?
Citizen Kane. I've never seen it. Everyone always says it's one of the greatest films of all time.
And it's true. It really is. Although, I do understand if somebody goes, I've seen Citizen Kane and I do not care for it. I understand, and that's fine. You're okay to not have enjoyed it, but if you don't enjoy it, chances are it's just, you may need a couple more times, or maybe it's just not your bag.
Is it really? What's the vibe, and should I invest 2 hours of my life into watching this film? Be honest with me.
Okay, here's what I got for you. Here's how I'm going to pitch Citizen Kane to you. Citizen Kane is about a guy who grew up and just became a giant, much like Orson Welles himself, became a big giant success at a young age. And he's got all of this money and all of this wealth. He's got everything that this man could ask for. He's running this newspaper. He's kind of like he's almost making the news the way things are going. He becomes so very successful. He gets a wife and everything, and he builds an opera house for her. She cannot sing a lick. And it's all about him going through and it's framed about these journalists that are going back and looking through his life and going, who was Charles Foster Kane? What made this man tick? And you go out through flashbacks forward and backwards throughout his entire life, trying to yourself find out what it is about this man. What kind of made him tick? The last phrase that came out of his mouth, what did that mean? How did that relate to his life in the last moments of his time here on Earth? What was it that he was thinking of just before he left us? It's a great story. It's a great story. And if you look at, just from the filmmaking techniques and everything, it is absolutely astounding. There are moves and stuff in there that had never been done before and have been copied and pasted on movies ever since. Citizen Kane is an absolute masterpiece. I enjoy it more and more every single time that I watch it. So do I recommend it? Yeah. Will you love it the first time? There's a chance you might not. But I think if you watch Citizen Kane a couple of times and really kind of figure stuff out, and I know that's not anything that anybody wants to hear, but sometimes movies be like that.
There's actually more money being spent in Hollywood today than ever before, and then goes to the question of, like, then why are we in a constriction?
Yeah, well, because what are you talking about? So I've reacted to her stuff before. She doesn't care for me, by the way. So we chose someone else to kind of react to that reaction. Yeah, Hollywood. My problem, and again, you guys have heard me talk about it a ton, is that Hollywood spends way too much money. They spend way too much money. They've gotten fat over the years, and when you're living high on the hog and you're kind of spending all those paychecks and stuff like that, eventually that bill's going to come due. And the bill has been coming due for Hollywood for quite some time. They've just been putting it off onto another credit card. And eventually it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And I think that's what's happening with Hollywood right now. Again, all of my instruction to Hollywood are this: turn the budget down, turn your kind of, I'm going to say, schlockiness up. Just, get people out there, give them a reason to go to the movies, as opposed to just like, we've got another stupid thing here. It's the same crap you've always seen before. You're a dummy. Eat the slop. Come on, eat the slop.
Yeah, more money is being spent now than ever before on media, but it's being spent by tech companies that now own the majority of the media that we consume.
Isn't it funny, all the way back in the day, that George Lucas was really ripping on the fact that like Lucas and a lot of the kind of film brats of that era and stuff were ripping on studios being taken over by mega corporations and all this sort of stuff. But they never stopped any of it. They became the powerful ones and everything, and no one ever said no. They kept doing it because you know why? The checks kept on cashing, boy.
And they're spending that money on technology instead of creatives, instead of new ideas.
And which is also stupid, because here's the thing. You can't technologize your ways into successful films. You're not going to. ChatGPT is not going to write you a fantastic film, though then again, it might. And the only reason I say that it might is because it might take a lot of the kind of, whatever bullcrap is going into movies and stuff right now, and it goes, hey, maybe this is what people actually want to see. It's kind of like the TikTok algorithm and stuff like that. While you're flipping along, it's going to continue to feed you the things that you want. And I think that's the problem with media and stuff, is they have no clue what we want. They would like to look at our algorithm, but then they're going to look at that algorithm and go, what you like is wrong. That's how movies treat us today. And that's how video games treat us today, where it's just like, oh, the things that you like, well, you're a fucking idiot for liking that stuff. That's not the way that you get people to give you money, man.
New films, new shows, because they think technology is the solution. That technology, whether it be AI or some new streaming model, will save them money.
Oh, we're going to go to vertical integration, everybody. We're going for vertical dramas. No one's watching that shit.
What they should be doing is spending more money on the cool movie.
No, they shouldn't. They should be spending less money and making something more stylistic and more interesting. You need to focus on lower budgets and genres. Genre films, lower budget. You shouldn't be spending $50 million plus on a romantic comedy. You should spend $8 million on it and send it out to people and get just the right kind of stars, have the right kind of fun with it and everything. And then, get back to those kind of he's not the guy for it today anymore, and I'm certainly he wouldn't say that. But kind of that era where it was like the Kate Hudson, Matthew McConaughey kind of things, where it's just like motherfuckers would just go out to those movies, dude. They would just go out to them. And if you didn't have to make those movies cost $60-70 million these days, those movies could be made more because people would actually go to see them because they don't cost much. Hollywood is so dumb. The solutions are right there, but they're fat, greedy pigs.
And shows that are being created and marketing it in a proper way to people to get their eyes on that product. Now, the method has changed because studios did irreparable damage to the way we take in movies and shows during the pandemic.
Yep. Again, it's another one I keep saying. The Hollywood is dying, and the killer is inside the house.
Out of desperation, when they moved everything to streaming, it became an assumed way of consuming movies and TV shows. So once we went back to traditional models like theatrical, people weren't ready for it because they had spent over a few years actually, because coming out of lockdown, it took a while for us to find our way back. They spent a few years consuming movies and shows at home on.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, again, it also goes into my second point. Outside of the movies themselves needing to be cheaper, movie going still needs to be cheaper. Again, chat, let me know if you agree with this one. But how much more would you go to the movies if you could go and get a movie ticket, a popcorn, and a drink for $10? How often would you go to the movie theaters if that was what was on the table? $10, or if you just wanted the ticket, you don't want anything to eat or drink, just the ticket, $5. How often would you go to the movie if a movie ticket was $5? If concessions with your movie ticket was just $10? I bet it'd be a lot. I bet it would be a lot.
Streaming services that don't make the money that traditional means of distribution did make.
And that's the problem, dude. They like you're killing yourselves. The fact that you're just like, we're gonna do it on streaming now. Maybe you'll give me $15 for the rest of your life. Or you could get, $30-40 out of people for Blu-rays and stuff here and there. But no. You gotta not want to print anything. You gotta so stupid.
So now you can spend $150 million on a movie, and it's not going to pull in the money that it would have pulled in 2018 or 2019 because a lot of people just assume that it's coming right to streaming.
Which it does. Again, one of the big problems. Why on earth would you go out to the movie theater, spend an exorbitant amount of money for the tickets, spend an exorbitant amount of money for the concessions and everything, only to have it, hit the airwaves and stuff at your home 4 weeks later? Why would you go out? Why would you face all that hassle? I watched Colombian soap operas from the 90s and early 2000s. Good stuff. Japanese dramas are good too. There you go.
After a 45-day window in the theater, so they could just wait. So there's not that desperation. There's not that fear of missing out by not seeing it in the theater right away. So
it needs to be in the theater, for a little while. Then it needs to go away. It needs to not exist in the world for a while. And then when people are hungry again, you drop another morsel on their plate, which is, a physical media release. Oh, we love Sinners, 6 months ago. I want to watch that again. That's when they will go out to a store or Amazon in this case these days and order an actual movie. It comes to their house. And if that's the only way they can watch it, that's what they're going to do because it was something that was ingrained in them early on. They said, hey, you like this. You've watched this. It's cool. And then you forget about it. Then you want to watch it again. And the only way that you can watch it again is to purposely hand them money for each title. You guys are idiots. It depends on the theater. I will pay more for a better and less crowded movie theater experience. I agree with that. Made it. The last Buyer's Number Criterion sale, picking up stuff. Ooh, that's right. That's right. You know what this really sucks is I've got no money right now. And that Wes Anderson set is out and calling my name and son of all right. Anyways. Too many house repairs here and everything. Patreon.com/HMP.
Fortress Bucks.
Get any of those two would help.
These studios have done it to themselves, and now those studios are being bought up by technology companies that don't understand art whatsoever. What they understand is solving problems with technology. And it's not about making more money, it's about saving money. So they use AI for creation. They use green
But yeah, that's not going to help.
screen and CGI rather than building sets or going on location to make.
And that can be good and that can be bad. Like the first season of Mandalorian with the volume and everything. Mwah, beautiful. Seasons 2 and 3, not so much.
Movie production cheaper. These are the ways that they're making, quote, making money now, instead of finding what's the proper way to get people to watch the movies and shows they're creating.
No, you don't want to do that. All right, I can't. It's too much. I'm already getting struck for this. We're gonna have to. She's having a fun time though.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm so impressed. Thank you. Yeah.
Isn't that sweet? That's so nice. I make movies funny again. Comedy films are dead. Hollywood is dead. That is a 110% fact. That is such a fact. Man, what's the last comedy that you remember watching in a theater and like really just, having a big giant blast with it? It was kind of a horror movie, but Toxic Avenger was kind of close. It was at least funny, but you wouldn't go straight comedy. Know the feeling, but I settled for just buying Isle of Dogs as a separate disc. Also, Kiss Me Deadly, 1955, very good one. Rules of the Game, 1939, and The Lady Eve, 1941. He is jumping into a little Noir November himself over there. Very nice. What's next?
As a dude who's always been into...
Speaking of which, check it out. What's your favorite romance movie as a man? I figure most of the chat right now is men, so this should be a good litmus test. Gentlemen, while we watch this video, tell me your favorite romantic movie.
Romance media, like rom-coms, just romance movies in general. I noticed that the way men like romance movies is different from the way women like romance movies. So for all my men out there,
men like romance movies
who happen to like romance movies the way I like romance movies, what's your favorite romance movies and romance movie? And if you can't choose one, then give me your top 3 or top 2. I'm gonna give you 2 that I like right now as a man, right? I think the movie Definitely Maybe and Love.
Definitely Maybe. Let me see what that one is. I forget. Let's see. Isa Fisher. It's a Adam Brooks movie. Is that the? Hey, listen, if you got Rachel Weisz in this, I think I might have to just watch on account.
Love and Other Drugs are my 2 favorite romance movies. Okay. Why do I like Definitely Maybe? Because it tells a story of a man going through life, falling for different women, and why he fell for those different women at different times of his life.
You know what else does that? Another. Now, granted, it's not the funnest of times, but it is a good movie. High Fidelity. High Fidelity is one I go back and watch on a fairly regular basis because it's one of those things that I think that we all do is we go back and kind of like relive moments in lives and stuff like that. And you can do those with a lot of like movies, TV shows, music in the case of High Fidelity, and have those things be the bridge that bridges you to those past events and everything. Yeah.
I love that movie so much. I rewatched multiple times. Then the movie Love and Other Drugs is about a man who comes across a woman who's like the perfect girl for him. And he comes to find out that she has some type of like disease that will slowly wither away at her body, but he chooses to stay with her anyway. And she's
is that the
constantly pushing him away because she's like, it's not fair that you would be with me when I'm basically just, slowly falling apart. He's like,
what was the other movie with the guy that was then in the wheelchair and old girl from Game of Thrones? What was that? That was a pretty good one. I forget the name of it, but it's all right.
No, I don't care. Like, I love you. I'm going to be there for you regardless. Those are my 2 favorite movies. And then we got Crazy Stupid Love. That's another one, but that one's more funny than romance to me. I don't even know. Can we even consider that a romance? I guess it's a romance. But anyway, for all my men who like romance movies, what are your favorite romance movies? I want to know. Let me know in the comments.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Trillian said It Could Happen to You from 1994. I like It Happened One Night from it's probably 44. It might even be, no, it's probably earlier than that. Clark Gable and what's her face there on a train and whatnot. That's a good story. What else? What else? I'm trying to think of like good ones to not kind of seem like cliche and all that sort of stuff. But listen, look, Harry Met Sally is a great flick. Like there's part of it in there. Annie Hall is another one that's kind of, you know, a ubiquitous one, but there's good reasons and stuff for that. And there's several things where you look back and you're like, oh, see a lot of me in some of these things. And all right, let's move on. We got tons of videos to work with here.
Watching a scary movie until the point of the movie where I would have got out.
Well, if it's the thing that you're watching, you probably won't be watching too awful long, I would suppose.
What is this, Star Wars? Is this a space movie? Cold, but also beautiful, just like me.
Sounds like most of the ladies updated.
I'm gonna have to start keeping track of how many of these movies start in the outdoors, because normally if we're in wilderness, it doesn't bode well. Puppy!
You might not want to get as excited about that dog as you think.
Go, 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 go. What are you, a cop? Run, puppy, run, run. Go, Balto, go. National Science Institute. Ooh, science. That also never bodes well. There are science.
Yeah. If you're in a horror movie and science is going on, somebody's playing God. That's not good.
Scientists you can trust, and then there are scientists who are...
Ooh, the Philadelphia Story. Fantastic. I got that one on the Blu-rays.
Or psychopaths. Did they have the aim of stormtroopers?
Bringing Up Baby's another one. Sorry.
Troopers, I think. Those smoke bombs? Run, puppy, run! They
no,
are
you
not
want
smoke
that
bombs.
dog dead, trust me.
Oh, I love a dog.
You not later, you won't.
Oh, I love it. Is this a comedy? They're clearly trying to
No, it is not.
kill the dog, which means the dog is, you know, bad in some way. But
Oh, little did you know.
I'm on his side, I think. Sorry, that's my baby. We should probably like get in touch with Norway and be like, hey, something was happening. Mr. Jeff Bridges is...
Uh-oh. She just called him Jeff Bridges. That's not a good sign. Oh, no. Y'all remember Jeff Bridges in The Thing? Oh, man.
Greedy.
Whoops.
I stand corrected. That is Kurt Russell.
There you go. I was like, who gonna tell her?
Not Jeff Bridges. Hi, sneaky
Jeff Bridges and David Keith.
guy. 10 out of 10 acting skills. The pauses, the looks. Suspicious but adorable.
Wait till you see how adorable this is.
Oh my god! Yikes! I will say, curiosity is keeping me in. I don't know how you're gonna do anything with that gun when you have a lantern as well. I feel like I would put the lantern on the gun, right, and walk with it like that. The lantern can
Yeah, that's a real smart thing. Put fire on the end of your gun. Real genius.
lead, bait out the monsters. Pow! These guys found something they shouldn't have, I think. Icky.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
okay, in this situation, if this was a disease that like made the body do weird stuff, you should do studies and try to figure out what the heck is going on. Yay! Look at him, he's such a good dog.
She's still rolling with the yay. Oh boy.
Oh, Pop.
Oh, this is where she's got to be going now. She's got to be going now. This is the moment. This is it. I was like, this is where she's getting out of this. If she goes, ooh, puppies, and then this comes, I was like, wait for it.
Puppies! Oh my god, they literally chose like the cutest dog for this. I'm losing it. Oh.
Oh, it gets so much worse.
Oh, you brought bad vibes. You brought bad vibes. You brought bad vibes. We're out. What's happening?
Yes. Oh man. Oh, to be in that chat that evening with her. Whoo. What a life changer on that one. By the way, if you have not seen The Thing on the big screen and you have an opportunity to do so, by all means, take it. Take it.
1, 2, 3 movies. What you finna come in and?
I am so angry, everybody. I'm so angry. This game came out. I think it's called Movie Theater something or other. It's this movie theater simulator, and I want to play this game so bad, but I'm a Mac guy. I can't get. It's on Steam. I want to play this game so bad. Having worked in a movie theater, I feel like I would be really, really great at this game, but no PC. And it doesn't look like you'd have to have one that could, do all that much damage. But man, I would love it. That would be something I would definitely stream on this channel, is me playing this game.
And bootleg my shit. Man, I'm finna go out there and beat her motherfucking ass. She got the game fucked up. 1, 2, 3 movies. Bitch, get the fuck out my line.
So somebody trying to steal some movies or something?
You got a shirt on too? What y'all want to do? Look at her. She bootlegging my shit. That is crazy. And
You're telling me oh God, I'd love to do this so much. This game is right up my alley because I have had to literally go into theaters and kick out like drunk ass adults, right? I've had to go and talk to people about vaping in the theater, just general nonsense, hitting other customers. Listen, I've done the gamut, man, and I've done all the jobs too. And that's why I could run and do all the things from your concession to the projection. I'm telling you, I would rule this game, but I'm a Mac guy, unfortunately.
she got on a 1, 2, 3 movie shirt. This what I'm talking about, bro. This the shit I be talking about, bro. How you gonna bootleg Popeye? You fucking hold on.
How you gonna bootleg Popeye?
Fuck out my shit. And she wanna fight. Come on in, motherfucker. Yeah, get laid out. You ain't finna bootleg my shit.
Oh man, do the things I would always want to do.
What's wrong with you? Let me catch another one of y'all coming in my shit. It's over with. I'm gonna hang a hub on top of the ceiling. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Y'all enjoy the movie. Other 1, 2, 3 movies person. Should I do it to her? Man, get out my line. I done told y'all about that 1, 2, 3 movie shit. Y'all ain't bootlegging shit around here. What you wanna do, ho? What you wanna do? My bad, ma'am.
I'm confused. All right, never mind. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
she done.
You all right? Is she?
That's fentanyl right there.
Still alive? Hey, somebody call 911.
That's fentanyl.
Oh shit! What you trying to fight? Do I know you, nigga?
Yeah, he rolled.
Damn!
Oh, he took you gone. That's rough. Achievement: you have punched out 100 theater patrons. Yes. Sign it up. It looks like Schedule 1, but like in a movie theater, I guess.
Come, walk this way. Take a look. We put the picture's name on everything. Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made. Spaceballs the t-shirt. Spaceballs the lunchbox. Spaceballs the flamethrower. The kids love this one.
Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Good stuff. Great costume. Great acting in the costume. And that someone that cares in their Halloween costume makes all the difference.
We all love Criterion Closet videos, right? We get to see our favorite film people's favorite films, and they talk about them, and it's cool, right?
Yeah.
If you love that, I got something else for you that's equal, if not even better to
The Vinegar Syndrome toilet. The Vinegar Syndrome porta potty closet.
Watch Cone Beanie Video Club. These are videos where they invite people in film, mainly directors and actors, to talk about their favorite films. They walk around this store. It's one of the last video clubs in Paris, and they pretty much just talk about films. And a lot of them are much longer than the Criterion Closet videos. While we all love the Criterion Closet videos, one of the complaints I do see often in the comments is that they're very short. Some of them are under 5 minutes.
It is true. They don't kind of, and then, but at the same time too, I don't want them to try to pontificate on about things that they may not know anything about, and they've just kind of like, you know, arted it up, if you will, for the camera.
Some of these can go up to 40 minutes or something. Also, every movie that they talk about, they show little clips from the film. So this is very cool because it's like you get a little supplement, especially if you haven't heard or seen the film.
Yeah, you think Criterion of all people would be able to kind of gussy their stuff up a little bit with that on account of they have the rights to do that, I would imagine.
It's nice. My favorite is Luca Guadagnino's, who did it earlier this year or last year. It's tremendous. It is absolutely tremendous. He just talks for 40, 45 minutes about the films he loves. It's very insightful. The only disadvantage is that it is French. So when you have French directors or actors or anybody on, there won't be subtitles.
All that we talk, I ain't about it, boy.
So you have to use like the auto-generated ones, but it's whatever. Tap into this because it's amazing, and I look forward to every new drop.
That's my French theme.
You got Sinners and One Battle After Another, right?
Yeah.
But there's a problem.
Sinners versus One Battle After Another. Which out of the two wins? Come on, Straw Hat. Come on, Straw Hat. We know what you do. We know what you're going with. We know what you're going with. And this is, listen, I understand. If you're a left-leaning person, this is a Sophie's choice for you guys, right? Whereas you got, you know, One Battle After Another is that, you know, that seminal kind of like, hey, we're all in this together and do vandalism and terror for reasons. But, you know, and if you don't like that one, then if you don't like One Battle After Another, you're a racist. You should know that. But if you're also a racist if you don't choose Sinners. So, like I said, it's a real Sophie's choice, man. You could be going either or. I thought both movies were good. I think Sinners is the better movie of those two, for sure. But I wasn't as wild about Sinners as everybody else was. And One Battle After Another, while a very competently made movie, very competently acted movie and everything, it's bloated, it's overlong, and I think the message is frankly bad.
Because Sinners came out in what? March? April? Came out in April. Will we see another situation like how we saw what happened with Dune Part 2? And it didn't get the nominations and the love it deserved because, you know, Academy either forgot about it or they were kind of putting a lot of their eggs in the baskets of those ones that came out in November, December. I've made it my personal mission to kind of like keep Sinners in like the social conversation. One Battle After Another just
as I said previously in a TikTok Trash Tuesday, here are my predictions for what they're going to do come Oscar time with these two movies, because these are going to be your two front runners for a lot of things. I believe Ryan Coogler will get Best Director for Sinners, and I believe One Battle After the Other will get Best Picture. That's my. I think they really want to give Coogler an Oscar. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to pan out.
Came out last month. Mm-hmm. Great ass movie. One could also argue like maybe a little bit too early because that was what September. Yeah, September. Will people forget about it? I don't think so, because any movie you have, I think Paul Thomas Anderson has a lock on anything he does. I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio, you got to take notice of that. Tiana.
Well, right, because and you also want them to show up at your thing, so you'll nominate them for especially like the Hollywood Foreign Press there and whatnot. They're the biggest whores of like, hey, we'll nominate a movie that has zero reason to be there just because these stars are in there, and we would hope that these stars would show up to possibly receive their award.
Taylor, I think a Best Supporting Actress nomination is a lock-in for her. And Chase Infinity is going for the Best Actress nomination, right?
Don't think she's gonna win that.
Right. So I feel like there's all these things going for One Battle After Another that will keep it firmly in the minds of people once the Oscars come out. It's going to be a battle between those two.
But I just think the time is so much of a heavy factor in all of this, even if it was reversed.
Yeah.
If One Battle After Another came out much earlier in the year,
we'll be thinking about it the same way.
Yeah, so that's
I think it's all the same crap. I highly recommend Dead Mate Kill Count on YouTube video on Sinners. Interesting. Sinners is goofy, worth one watch if that. Yeah, listen, I think it's not one that I've kind of rethought about a whole bunch because honestly, the depth of Sinners isn't there. It's a fun enough movie, and it's one of those that like I think you could probably watch every 2 or 3 years and be like, oh yeah, that's a fun one. But I don't know that it's one that you're going to go back to on a very regular basis.
I'm very concerned what's going to happen to Shout Factory now.
Oh, we've gotten some news on Shout Factory over the last couple of days. People have been doing some panicking and stuff like that. All of a sudden, the Shout Factory sales seem to be getting very, very crazy. They've been canceling some things and figuring some stuff out and everything. So let's see where he's going on this video because some new news has dropped.
If you don't know, Shout Factory is a boutique Blu-ray label. I've bought dozens of their movies before, and now they're selling all their movies through Groove. Let me share with you the good, the bad of this, and what we still don't know. Now for the good, I think Groove overall is dependable. They've been established for the past couple of years. I've used them and have been really happy aside from a couple of films being broken, but again, their customer service has been great replacing them.
I can say the same. I haven't had anything broken or anything from them, so everything has been fine. But the times that I have ordered from Groove, they have been quite good. Get there on time and everything. Shipping is usually free with that sort of stuff, and they do a really great job over there. And it's usually a lot of Warner Brothers titles and things like that. They run sales very, very often. So yeah, man, Groove's great. And here's the thing. Groove is going to be great for Shout Factory because if you are of the Shout Factory and boutique labels and stuff like that, you keep up on these things. And Shout Factory is absolutely notorious for getting logistics wrong. They suck. They were never very good at it. And I think they're going, listen, we're going to continue to, I could be a little bit wrong on this, but I think they're like, we want to stay and do our own thing here, but the distribution side and everything, we suck at that. We want to hand it over to Groove, the people over here, essentially at Warner Brothers, and say, you guys take care of this. Can you fix us up? Because we clearly don't know what we're doing over here. And they don't. They don't. If you talk to Shout customers, they're very often pissed. It's called, I'm ordering directly from you. Shouldn't I be getting this, on time with everyone, if not earlier? No.
And they frequently have great deals, including on Shout Factory titles right now. But my questions that then follow are, what will customer service be like a few months from now? How will they handle when a Blu-ray is broken from Shout Factory versus...
They'll just replace it with a new one. What are you talking about? How will they do this? That's going to be the same thing. It just becomes the same customer service. Why would it be different?
This is regular Blu-ray, right? Because I think people will kind of freak out a little bit more about those.
And again, what's coming from Shout that's going to be all like, breakable and stuff like that? I'm confused.
Boutique label movies being broken, and also what happens to my already existing orders? Shout Factory said that they'll honor them, but I have no way of tracking them anymore. I've tried going through my email, and those tracking numbers just don't exist anymore. Those order numbers. Well, I just have Blu-ray showing up on my porch 2 to 3 months from now. But
okay, so that's not good. But again, like I said, this is part of the problem. They were really crap at that. You even see it going out the door. They're not very good at it. Should they have picked up the slack a little bit better and, kind of put it in the hands of Groove and say, like, here's all the pending orders and stuff like that. Can you iron this out? Probably. But overall, it's going to be a benefit for Shout for sure.
We also need to think about this far beyond being consumers and thinking about just the immediacy of buying these movies, because it's concerning to learn that people were laid off from Shout Factory. The fact that there are people that were very key to the Hong Kong cinema line or Scream Factory are no longer there. What happens to those lines?
They're getting picked up by people. Don't worry about that, especially when it comes to like Hong Kong films and stuff like that. Right now, it's a super hot market, especially with all the Golden Princess stuff just coming out and being remastered and having that entire collection being a big giant thing. And those aren't coming out via Shout anyways. Those are coming out via other guys. So don't worry about it. You be all right.
Well, I think about the biggest and best boutique labels. Criterion has their own website. Arrow has their own website. Vinegar Syndrome has their own website. Severin has their own website.
And I think Shout Factory should have its own website. But again, I think all of their distribution should be through Groove. It's just like, hey, here's all of our things, and like have a link, and then boom, that link goes right to Groove. That's how I'd do it.
Telescope has their own website, and Radiance has their own website. And I'm not saying that we need to panic about Shout Factory. We just need to think about the fact of what exactly does any of this mean for the company? What does it mean if Shout Factory has a much more limited presence? How many titles are they going to release if they laid off a number of the people working on their physical media? What does any of this look like a year?
I mean, like, we don't know who they laid off and why they laid them off. So, like, just to be like, well, I'm sorry, you can't always be mad that somebody be losing a job, right? Sometimes jobs are unnecessary and need to be axed,
From now, 2 years from now, I'm not really sure if we're going to see them 5 years from now. I'm glad that these movies all aren't out of print. I'm glad that they partnered with Groove above anybody else. And also, none of this looks like a great sign for the future for Shout Factory.
No, it does. It's just their distribution arm. It's so dumb. Come on, guys. Let's get it together. Oh, I think you're both underselling the thing. Maybe. Better Tomorrow trilogy is being released by Shout Factory in 2 weeks. Yeah, see, again, things are coming out. And I wanted to pick that one up too, but it's, again, I'm just like, I'm having to pick and choose right now on certain things. So I'm just like, what's it?
Oh.
Film Bros, when I asked them to name a female director that's not Greta Gerwig or Sofia Coppola.
Muhammad Ali.
First of all, I love that that's Kamala Harris. Muhammad Ali. Oh, man. We don't know any female directors. I think we all are aware of that. And or actually, you know the way to really do it, just be like, Leni Riefenstahl. Just be that the only other one that you know. just to really piss her off.
Horror films have been with us since the beginning of cinema.
Oh, and I'm sure you're about to say something very positive about them, John Carpenter. You're such a ball of light and positivity throughout a dark age and everything. What could John Carpenter share with us now?
And they're pretty much the same. Every generation recreates horror.
Listen, if there's anybody that knows that, it's this man right here. He'd be stealing from people all the time.
For themselves. A few are fair, and then there's a few really good or great ones. And those are the ones I care about.
And he won't tell you any of them.
Are you going to share those?
No.
He told you. I told you, what, you old fucking curmudgeon.
Okay.
Ugh. Listen, a lot of people love whatever he's pulling here. I hate it. I think it's asinine. I think it's demeaning to your fans. This too cool for school, and he's been doing this since 1974. So it's just like, it's nothing new, mind you. The Wachowskis, there, you son of a bitch. John's starting to look like a wheelchair low pan. Holy shit, that's funny.
I don't want to talk down about other directors if I possibly can, except Rob Zombie. I'll be glad to talk down.
Yeah, hell yeah. 100% agree. Man, one of my proudest moments was when we were at Dragon Con and we were on a panel. It was myself, Matt Smith, and another friend of his, maybe one more guy. But we were on this like modern horror panel at Dragon Con. And I wasn't planning on it, but I had this back in my back pocket if I needed it for just such an occasion. But Rob Zombie's name came up, and let me tell you, I kind of sat up in my seat there. I got a little excited. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, oh, here we go. And so we were talking about, like, just artistic natures and stuff in films and how there can be kind of some auteur sort of stuff these days. Rob Zombie's name comes up, and I said, I knew that Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, was going to be a piece of garbage from frame one, which is pretty rare. Pretty rare for a film to go, this is going to be terrible, with the first frame, which was white lettering on a black background, talking about the symbolism of a white horse. And it was at that exact moment that I knew that Rob Zombie's head was so far up his own ass that if he farted, he would braid his own hair. It brought down the house, that comment. So, but yeah, it's those Halloween movies of Rob Zombies are absolutely atrocious.
When was the last time a horror movie scared you?
All right, chat, help me out with this for your thoughts. Last time a horror movie really scared you. Well, I'll say this. I thought Bring Her Back had some pretty, like, oh boy, chair gripping moments and stuff like that. Scary is a tough thing, especially if you've seen a whole bunch of movies and stuff like that, you know.
Actually stuck with you for days. Like The Exorcist made you feel like Satan was in your house.
Listen, The Exorcist is fantastic, especially that's another one, big screen. I know you can easily watch it at your house and everything, but if you can find an Exorcist screening, go to it. The screen size and being in an actual theater makes a difference.
And could possess you. A monster like Dracula.
Not even for a moment. Not even for a moment have I ever been scared of a Dracula movie. Especially with Bela Lugosi, because Bela Lugosi always has one of these. How can I be afraid of one of these?
Probably hasn't scared you since you were a child. Most horror fans are actually...
Hey, Jason X is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my entire life on account of it's, Jason X.
Just fans of schlocky B comedies with a few jump scares and some graphic gratuitous...
What's that? Is that 5 or 6?
Violence. I'm not saying these are bad. I love Army of Darkness, but it's really about nostalgia, not fear. Horror's like comedy, and I don't mean it should be comedy. I mean it operates in the same way. For us to actually feel fear, it has to break the pattern. It can't just deliver the same expected derivative punchlines. It has to surprise us.
Il final.
And it usually has to push social boundaries. It has to break rules. If comedians were telling us the same joke,
it's the Humpty Hump. No, I know what that. I know it's Steve Martin. Come on.
They told us 40 years ago, we wouldn't laugh. But that's what horror writers and directors are doing today. They're repeating the same setups and punchlines from the movies they loved when they were kids, and it's comfy and fun, but it's not scary or disturbing. They may be gross.
Hey, listen, that last Final Destination movie was actually pretty good. It was one of the better Final Destination movies since, I would say, Final Destination 4.
But these movies don't challenge us.
Okay, well, that was Freddy's Dead back there. It's like, listen, 4, 5, and 6 can all just pound rocks. You know what I'm saying?
All the great horror movies broke the rules. They subverted our expectations.
But that one's a ripoff, though. That one's a remake of a previous movie. We were just talking about it.
We didn't know what was going to happen, and that's why they scared us. But every single time anyone just tries to repeat the same trick, they may entertain us, but they'll never horrify us.
I think that's a logical assumption. 6. What does that mean? Babadook. Saw that last week. Oh my God. Listen, I didn't like the Babadook just because on account of I didn't like that kid. The kid was it's one of those where you're just like, if this parent doesn't smack this child, I'm going to. You know the funny thing about the Babadook, though? I think a lot of people know this, but maybe some people don't. The Babadook is, oddly enough, even though the subtext is nowhere within said film, is a celebrated LGBTQ film. Did you know that? Because for whatever reason, in its early days of Netflix there and everything, the Babadook got put in like a Pride Month category for some weird reason. And everybody was just like, is this a gay movie? And it's not. It's not in any way, shape, or form. But for whatever reason, the Babadook has taken on a big gay following and everything. Just on account of they were just like, yeah, that's a movie for us. Like, okay, I mean, if you want to take ownership of it, I suppose that's fine. But not a gay movie, but a gay movie, I suppose. 4 is actually really good. Rennie Harlan came into it fresh off the haunted prison movie. Prison? No, a prison movie called Prison, you say?
I feel like the fakest motherfuckers are the people who claim that they love 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Then call me a fake motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen, because I enjoy 2001: A Space Odyssey. And if my poster hadn't been stepped on by my father while I was moving, you'd find it up here amongst my other posters and stuff. I understand where this kid's probably coming from. It's coming from a new kind of a new fan of movies and stuff like that. And I myself, throughout the years, only grew my enjoyment of 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it's going to be continue to be a theme, I guess, tonight. But one of the reasons that the movie finally 100% connected with me was seeing it on the big screen. I saw it on the big screen twice in 2 days on an IMAX screen. And the second time I was literally front row. So it could be as absolutely huge in front of my face as humanly possible. And it is only really, I think, within that theater setting that movie can truly be appreciated. Number one, size, scale, scope of everything. It needs to be huge to be impressive. Number two, you do not need to be able to leave. You need to be sitting locked in to what you're watching, because it is a slow thing. You're going to watch, the Blue Danube come around here and everything. You're going to watch the space dock and stuff. And the first like 12 minutes of the dawn of man and stuff like that. When you learn to watch that stuff and appreciate it for what it is and the way that it is telling you this story and how that story comes to fruition and what the kind of and what the Stargate and everything kind of represents and stuff like that, it's more amazing the more that you watch it, the more that you kind of peel back the layers of it and everything, and really just kind of see it also, again, if nothing else, for the technical marvel that the movie is. 2001: A Space Odyssey is a fantastic movie, but you do have to, you got to work for it a little bit. It's not a gimme. It's not Star Wars. And that's why a lot of people, I'm sure, love Star Wars way more than they love 2001: A Space Odyssey, because it's an opera, you're going into there. It's a big giant thing. 2001: A Space Odyssey, you are going on a mission. You are going with these guys. It's slower. It's paced differently. But once it gets there and stuff, wow, it is just so darn good. Ron Cobb's artistry and stuff and putting things together, it's just amazing. But the same applies to Andromeda Strain on the big screen. It was amazing. Oh, I would love to see. I went to see Return of Godzilla 1984. Asshole in front of my that's probably me, had a smartwatch. Why is it that smartwatch people don't realize when it comes to that? Exactly. It's ridiculous. And that's why when I have my smartwatch here, because it's technically in like sleepy mode right now. But when I do it, I go over here and I hit the Oso special laughter and emoji thingy-majig, where you go through and guess what? It's on theater mode. So whenever you move it around, it never gets woken up. It only gets woken up when you go boop and touch it and everything. But otherwise, stays black the entire time. If you're not doing that, you're an absolute piece of garbage.
Like, it's those people who all swear that movie is like this masterpiece of art.
It is.
And to that I say, do you have any fucking joy or color in your life?
Joy, color are everywhere. In fact, my 2001: A Space Odyssey poster, very colorful.
Like, bro, everybody says 2001: A Space Odyssey is like this beautiful masterpiece, and like it's a 2-hour and 30-minute movie of multiple 15-minute long scenes that could have been executed in less than a minute.
Oh, I see. You're not smart enough to have an attention span. Cool.
The cinematography is beautiful, I must admit, but if you look past that, the movie is fucking bunch.
Oh, he just don't understand film.
And I'm not hating on Stanley Kubrick at all. That dude made my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, what is it? It's got to be Barry Lyndon, right? I'm going to say his favorite movie of all time. I feel like The Shining is probably up there. He'll probably say The Shining. He might say, I think he's going to say The Shining.
But he also made my least favorite movie of all time.
Like, I'm just convinced at this point that everybody who claims that 2001: A Space Odyssey is a work of art,
they've just never seen the movie. They've never seen it. They've never actually seen it.
Because if you actually saw the movie,
You would not be saying that. I guarantee it.
I think you wouldn't be saying that if you watched it in the theater. I think you watched it on your iPhone, Pally boy.
like, how big of a loaf of bread do you have to be to say, hey, let's watch 2001? Yeah.
2 days in a row. 2 days in a row in a theater, man.
Let's
Fucking not do that, little bro.
He's not gonna say. Of course, he wouldn't say. He's a coward because he hasn't watched any Stanley Kubrick films. He might just maybe a Full Metal Jacket. He might say Full Metal Jacket, but I think he'd probably say The Shining or something like that.
Hollywood just went all in on vertical shorts.
Oh my God, no, they haven't. But all right, Patrick, show us what we got this week.
Hi, it's producer Patrick bringing you the latest
Patrick.
in the ever-evolving film and TV industry. Fox Studios isn't chasing streaming anymore. It's now chasing scroll time.
Oh, Jesus. It's even worse than we thought.
In the last year, vertical shorts have exploded in the media marketplace.
In the media marketplace, that's some horse hockey if I ever heard any. It's like it's the media marketplace. You mean TikTok? And drama ain't been on TikTok. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You lying unless somebody talking about the dramas of like cop cameras and shit.
With billions of daily views on TikTok, Reels, and YouTube Shorts, and turning everyday creators into global brands overnight.
Woo!
But now legacy studios want in. Fox just invested in a Ukrainian studio called Holy Water, the team behind an app built entirely for vertical dramas.
Subtitle headline: Hollywood throws millions of dollars away on shit that won't work. Vaporware crap that no one wants. We are not looking for a reinvention of the wheel. We're just looking for a good wheel. What's wrong with you?
Over the next 2 years, Fox will produce more than 200 of these microseries.
Oh, 200 micro series. So that means they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. They don't care.
Emphasizing on mobile-first thrillers, romances, and suspense stories.
Never gonna happen, 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 never gonna happen. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Never gonna happen, people.
And directly on your phone. Holy Water's app is called My Drama, and it already reaches 55 million viewers worldwide.
Chinese butts.
And Fox isn't alone in this race. Every legacy studio is now searching for ways to reach the next generation of viewers, ones who no longer want to invest their time binging series on traditional television.
So they're gonna swipe through. Just don't buy it.
Vertical video is now projected to become an $8 billion global market.
So sell now.
And for Fox, this move isn't just another area of content. It's a survival strategy for an industry that no longer views film and TV as profitable investments. And from Fox's point of view, the next Hollywood blockbuster might not just be 2 hours wide, it might actually be 60 seconds tall. As always, would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Patrick. I don't think that this is going to happen. I think it's all bullshit. I think it is yet. This feels like AI again, where it's just like buzzword, 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 buzzword. Does it mean anything? Not really.
Okay, so I'm watching The Ring right now.
Beautiful.
The 2002 American remake directed by Gore Verbinski.
I'll say it. I don't know if he's going to say it, but I'll say it. Better movie than the original. That's right. The Ring is better than Ringu, everybody. And Ringu sounds like a mispronunciation of ragu.
Which is a classic. It's one of the best remakes, definitely of the 21st century.
Agreed.
The original Japanese film is also great. I prefer the American film, but that's not what I want to talk about.
Because they find out too easily what the secrets and stuff in the Japanese version. They find out way too easy, you know. They have to kind of earn it a little bit. There's like the things falling on the floor and that kind of leading down. Then they have to put stuff in. All they did in the Japanese one was like, oh, we know where it is. Throw the lattice out. Boom, we found it. Like you got to the prize in 2 seconds.
I think as a film fan, as someone who loves film criticism, And as someone who loves the horror genre, I think the question of whether you find a movie to be scary has ruined film criticism for the horror genre. I think the fact that people will rest on that one question completely unravels all the worthwhile conversations we could be having about the way that some of these films are made. So I'm watching The Ring, and just within the first 90 seconds, excuse me, I'm also eating. Just within the first 90 seconds, the direction in this film, just the shots, just shot, camera movement, just the way that it's cut together, just from the craft of the filmmaking. Listen, do I think this film is scary? I mean, this was not a film. I mean, this came out when I was
a grown ass adult when this movie came out.
This came out when I was in middle school. This was never a film that sort of kept me up at night. But
you would know what a VHS tape was.
I always thought it was a great film because of how well made it is.
That Gore Verbinski, he ain't no slouch.
Because of how technically sound the filmmaking is.
Brian Cox's performance in The Ring, dude. People forget about that. Brian Cox is absolutely killing it in that movie.
And yes, thematically, I think it's hitting on levels sort of deeper than the surface, and I think Naomi Watts gives a terrific performance.
It does.
But yeah, as I'm watching just these simple, this is where the camera is placed, this is when the camera moves, this is.
Am I not mistaken? Didn't Gore Verbinski actually come from a cinematography background? Am I wrong in that? Let me see. Gore Verbinski, director, producer, writer, additional crews. Maybe not. Maybe not. Thought he might have been one of those guys.
When we cut, this is when the sound comes in or comes out. I wish that more horror fans took the time to talk about those things in movies and not just rambling on about whether or not they found the film to be scary. Because
yeah, I agree with that statement.
At this point, we've seen so many different types of scares. When is the last time you were honestly that scared in a movie?
I don't get scared.
But filmmaking, the craft of filmmaking, is something we can appreciate and talk about forever. So, watch The Ring. If it hasn't been spoiled for you, especially, watch The Ring.
When you put the ring on, the Eye of Sauron can see you, and but you turn invisible and everything else. That's pretty cool. And the Nazguls actually see you when you put the ring on. I think they can.
And yeah, learn to appreciate the craft of filmmaking. Honestly, it will make you like movies more.
That's why we go back to the 2001 argument. That's why we go back to that Citizen Kane argument and everything. These are movies that also, while entertaining and everything, were monumental for just filmmaking in and of themselves. From a filmmaking, literal filmmaking aspect.
Trust me on that. And now I'm going to go.
The Eye of Samara. Well, that's funny. That's funny. For a second there, I'm just like, first of all, I know. Oh, I see what you did. I see what you did. That's funny.
Go watch one of my favorite jump scares ever. Peace.
Very cool.
With the news coming out that Warner Brothers is up for sale and they are hearing out everybody, yeah, if you think that Netflix acquiring them is a good idea, then you don't like the movie theaters, because
not only do you not like movie theaters, you definitely don't like physical media and stuff, because as we were talking about previously, Groove is one of the people out there that is actually putting out social media or putting out physical media on websites and stuff like that, and doing a decent job of selling them and everything. And they are, pretty much the Warner Brothers label there and everything. So if Netflix gets a hold of Warner Brothers, how keen do you think that they're going to be on printing up more DVDs for you to use at home? They ain't gonna be doing none of that shit. They want your $78, because about that time, that's what it's gonna end up costing to go to Netflix to get the things that you wanted. Isn't that funny how we've kind of gone through this this road of Netflix here and everything, where Netflix first starts out and they're just kind of like more or less renting movies from other people, where they're saying, hey, can we stream your stuff? Can we stream your stuff? And they're going, okay, yeah, sure, you can stream this stuff. And eventually Netflix would start, developing their own things, and then realizing like, hey, maybe we can get all of the money if we just do our stuff. And then other companies go like, hey, why the hell are we giving them, the rights to this? We could have our stuff over here. And then they did that. And the same thing would happen with Warner Brothers. Then it would be like, oh, Netflix is the only place that you can go for this. They're going to kill off their entire physical media thing if indeed that happened. I certainly hope it doesn't. Yeah, he's right. That's one of the worst case scenarios. Them getting sold to Netflix. Ugh.
If Netflix acquires Warner Brothers, yeah, just say goodbye to the movie theaters, man. It'll be the beginning of the end for the movie theaters, because essentially pretty much almost every DCU project will ultimately come out on streaming instead of being like a grand theatrical release.
No, they'll put it in. They'll do what Netflix do and put it in there for 2 weeks, and then just be like, no, you've got to come and give us money for it.
Like, if Netflix acquires Warner Brothers and they get a hold of all those properties, I can assure you.
Oh, could you imagine them rebooting and redoing everything? That
it will be the beginning of the end for the movie theaters, because you are essentially getting one of the hottest companies right now that just are having one of the greatest movie theater years in a while.
In a while. Okay, I was about to say, you better qualify that, sir.
When you think about the quality of movie that they've been putting out this year, or quality of movies.
It's very true. Warner Brothers has been putting out some kick-ass movies this year. They've done a really good job.
I apologize. That have been coming out. Yeah, if Netflix gets them, we're never seeing like.
All right, are we going around the bend one more time here, bud?
We're never seeing movie theaters ever come back. Like, if we.
Listen, I'm an alarmist, but even I'm not quite that bearish.
I think the movie theater like issue is bad now. Just wait if Netflix gets a hold of a company.
All right, 3 times the charm.
Dude,
are you a Teletubby?
I will be so pissed
here?
off
Wrap it up.
if Netflix gets a hold of them, because
where's that wrap it up sign
God.
that you got from Chappelle?
As somebody that like has grown up going to the movie theaters. Somebody that I make movie theater content now.
Make a link here or something? Like they won't pay me unless I do 2.5 minutes worth of bullshit.
Man, if I just the only
we get it, you're mad.
The only thing that's keeping me some hope if they do acquire it somehow is the fact that Stranger Things is getting a theatrical release.
Oh my God. Fuck that noise. I feel about Stranger Things like I feel about Squid Games. It's like, y'all still on that? All right. Weird.
For the season finale of the upcoming season 5. That's the only reason why I have any hope if Netflix does acquire Warner Brothers. But yeah, man, I
all right.
I just hope and fucking pray that
you could end it now.
That somebody else goes after Warner Bros.
Okay. I hate when people call it Warner Bros. Mario Bros. Stop with that. This is like, oh, it's Mario Bros. No. They're the Mario Brothers. They're not the Mario Bros. That makes me so mad.
We cannot let Netflix get them.
All right. Thanks, pal. 4 rounds, but we got it.
Letterboxd should do its own version of the Criterion Mobile Closet.
Yes. I'm interested in what his pitch is for this. This is as far as I got on the internet, and I was just like, ooh, I agree with his statement. Let's see what he's got.
Because Criterion figured out something really smart with that. People will line up around the block and wait all day for a chance to interact with that brand and
very right. If the Criterion Closet was coming to your town, wouldn't you want to stop on by? I know I would.
Tactile way and talk about movies on camera. Letterboxd could do something very similar. Imagine a traveling pop-up called the Letterboxd Red Carpet. It sets up shop at film festivals in major cities. There's a backdrop, the red carpet, the Letterboxd microphone, and someone interviewing you about your 4 favorite films.
And here's the thing, dude. If we do this with regular people like we do with the celebrities and stuff like that, it would also then get people to then really use Letterboxd and hopefully, just make it a more widely used app and everything. Yeah.
And you get to walk away with a video clip of that interview. There should also be a merch table on site, but not just regular merch that connects to that experience. So maybe they can print your 4 favorite films on like a tote bag or a t-shirt. That event could be sponsored by studios or brands to cover production costs. Then here's the main thing. Maybe these events should be patron only. Anyone can buy the merch, but like to do the red carpet to get the 4 favorites interviewed, that's just for Letterboxd patron members. I think this would drive.
Oh, and guess who's a yearly subscriber to Letterboxd, everybody? Because I don't want ads. I don't want no ads, so I pay for that. It's like, what, $9 or something for an entire year? I'll pay that.
Lots of patron subscriptions. But more importantly, it would bring the Letterboxd community into a real-world experience and create a very shareable moment in the same way that the Criterion Mobile Closet has done that with its brand.
Agreed.
I feel like this is a no-brainer idea. It'd be a win for the Letterboxd community, and it'd be a win for the Letterboxd company itself.
I like the idea of the Vinegar Syndrome porta potty. That's going to be a good one. The full moon refrigerator box. Just come up with different places for each independent. Arrow Video, where they sell cocaine.
Anybody else treat Letterboxd like it's their morning newspaper?
I don't, but again, this was another one where I stopped right here and I was just like, I'm intrigued. I use mine to kind of like rate movies and stuff like that. I don't have enough, I don't get a lot of followers and friends and stuff like that out there. If you got yours, my link is in the show notes there. So go ahead and click on that and follow me over there on the old Letterboxd, if you will. But yeah, what he treats it like his morning coffee. Let's check it out.
Realize that the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is scroll through Letterboxd.
I kind of like the dedication.
Be asking, what are the things that I do on the app? Well, let me tell you. First thing I'm doing is stalking my friends, seeing what they're watching, what they rated, what they liked. Also doing is trying to figure out what movies to add to my watch list. Like me, your watch list.
That's something that I should do. I don't really have any kind of watch list per se. I think I may have 2 movies on one list or something like that, but it's never something that I'm really kind of quite do and put down of like, oh, I need to go see this and then follow up on having watched that and stuff. I feel like I should. Adam, you never got the full moon set right. No, I did not. No, I did not. I paid for an entire year of full moon streaming and stuff with the proviso that I would get like this 10 movie collection or whatever on Blu-ray. And I never got it. Really pissed. Thanks, thanks, old Bandy.
It's way bigger than the movies you've seen, so it just continues to grow every single day.
Ooh, you need to watch Stir of Echoes. That's a good one.
Get a ton of great recommendations from Letterboxd articles. End up just going down deeper and deeper.
I'll like peruse an article every now and then when the app kind of gives me a little like a bing. Hey, somebody wrote a little thing. If I find the thing interesting, I'll read it.
For rabbit holes of different movies that I should watch. We'll say I have a problem. I don't know what that is because I'm having such a good time on the app.
Hey, you ain't got there's no problem with that. Come on. You're doing what you want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, over the Halloween weekend here, our old buddy Robert Englund, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger, got himself a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Isn't that nice? Posing with his... He's like, I'm doing what I want to do. You are not telling me how to pose. I have been Freddy for 40 plus years at this point. I'm doing what I want to do. Shut up. Hey, show us wiping your ass with the claws.
Not the. There we go. We need the more confident. Robert, touch the stone with the claw. There you go. Touch the stone with the claw.
Boy, I'd hate that. I'd hate that.
Robert, this way! Smoke!
Robert, show us a little bit of nipple, please.
Corner, Robert!
Robert, show us the middle finger of the glove. It's funny. Ha ha.
One of the all-time greatest hidden details in the history of film is going to happen right now.
There's an S in the logo? What are we talking about?
It's in the 2013 film Gravity, and it happens in the opening shot. And I'm going to bet not a single audience member caught this the first
that it's a cut?
time they watched the movie. But if you look carefully at the reflection in George Clooney's helmet just as he goes sweeping across the screen, you will see that they caught a reflection of the camera crew in the glass, but the reflection is of a camera crew in full astronaut spacesuits filming the scene in space. This guy is holding a boom mic. But obviously they did not film
because all of the microphones are inside the helmet, so the boom mic doesn't make no sense.
This movie in space. When they were doing the CG effects, they added this as a joke. And if it seems like wasted effort to add
a
digital effect just for this one brief frame that nobody's going to notice, you have to understand that the helmets themselves were CG. The faceplates were not there when they shot.
Yeah.
Almost everything you see in
because that's what there are many times where they're actually going through the face thing there and then outward back again and stuff like that. Cool stuff.
The film is CG. And I think that's actually the joke they're referencing, the fact that so much of this was
that's the joke, little Rainier Wolfcastle for you.
Just shot in a tiny room. It's about as far from being filmed on location that a film can possibly be.
They were kind of doing the volume before the volume with this movie in a lot of ways.
And if any of you did catch this the very first time you watched it, let me know, but I think you might be lying.
I think you're a bit of a liar, sir.
A-list celebrities aren't pulling in audiences anymore.
No shit. It's almost as if we realize that they're just people and not the gods that they portray themselves to be to us. They're all flawed, horrible people. We just happen to see them on a big giant screen, and for whatever reason, it started to instill traits to them that were not actually there.
Hi, it's producer Patrick, bringing you the latest in the ever-evolving film and TV industry. Days when a star's name guaranteed box office success appears to be over.
No, indeedy do it is.
This fall, films led by Margot Robbie, Dwayne Johnson, Julia Roberts, and Keanu Reeves all underperformed. Proof that Hollywood's biggest names can't save a flop anymore. All this according to The Guardian.
Well, it's true. It's true. Those days are gone. And I'm kind of happy that those days are gone because we need to start realizing that stars aren't going to be the thing that gets us. It's actual quality material that will get butts and seats. Tell good stories again. Not like, oh shit, here comes The Rock again for the 88,000th time.
Hollywood used to bank on a celebrity's charisma and name recognition. But in 2025, audiences seem to want more than fame. They want story and engagement.
Wow. Who would have guessed? Is it everybody?
The real draw these days seems to be a battle between franchises and powerful storytelling that can break through the noise. Well-reviewed movies with major actors are still losing money because the modern viewer...
But again, they're losing money because they're spending way too much money. And they're spending way too much money because they believe that we can be void of ideas and, everything else if we just throw money at it. And that's not the case.
Has more options, including...
That was the outdated Apple iOS right there for the TV OS. That's out of date.
Streaming, social, and short-form content. And ticket goers are now asking themselves, why spend $30 on a movie ticket when you can wait just 30 days?
What I say? What I keep saying? If you do it 30 days afterwards, who gives a shit? Why would you go to the movies? You are not giving people incentives to go to the thing. Hollywood is going to die, and it is going to be at the hands of Hollywood. It's your own fault. The call is coming from inside the house.
And watch the same film at home. After COVID, the medium shift wasn't financial. It was a cultural one.
I'm sorry, but blaming it on COVID's bullshit, though. COVID's such a scapegoat for all of this. I'm not going to say that it didn't have some impact, but they're far overreaching. And like, again, as somebody who was working in movie theaters day in and day out for a while, before all that kind of stuff happened, it was falling before then. Let's not make a mistake about what was actually going on even pre-pandemic.
We're now entering an era where audiences just don't blindly follow stars anymore. They follow what feels worth their time. As always,
Lord knows it ain't normal. It ain't Hollywood celebrities these days. And the more that we can get away from that, I think the better off we'll all be.
Always would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Patrick. We'll see you next week, buddy.
There's something very weird about this scene in the James Bond film Spectre.
Okay.
The opening of that film takes place in Mexico City, as you can see by the color grading.
Thanks, traffic. Thanks, Steven Soderbergh. You made everybody just go sepia tone. That's what it's in.
Where they are holding their traditional Day of the...
You know it's hot. It's hot outside. It's muggy.
Dead parade. Now, when I say there's something weird about it, I am not going to complain that they portrayed the parade or the culture incorrectly.
Who cares?
If you look up photos from this year's parade, I mean, if it's
very much like it, yeah.
Anything, they scaled it down. So what's the problem, you ask, if you're not here to complain that they didn't respect the tradition of the parade?
I didn't care for that opening scene, I'm going to be honest. I didn't care for Spectre. I know a lot of people, huge Spectre. Oh my God, Javier Bardem is so good. I thought Javier Bardem sucked ass. I hated the hair. I just no. I really only, honestly, it's like, it's as bad as it is. I only really like Casino Royale and all of those. Like, the rest of them are just kind of like, why?
The issue is that there was no tradition of a Day of the Dead parade in Mexico City. This film started that tradition. And the story behind...
Okay, that's pretty rad. It's like, hey, we never had one of these before, but this movie gave us a good idea of like, oh shit, maybe we should do one of these parades.
This is actually very interesting. See, the government of Mexico lobbied very hard to get them to shoot the film in that city, because obviously they thought it would be good for tourism. But after they shot the movie in 2015, they thought, hold on, these tourists are all going to show up expecting this parade. So in October of 2016, for the very first time, they put one on. And it's now the yearly tradition. 1.5 million people attended the parade this year. And there has been some pushback, people saying that this is not how traditions should start.
Traditions should start with the Broccoli family and MGM Productions coming in and saying, hey, you know what this place could use? A parade.
That Hollywood screenwriters should not be inventing new...
Oh, eat ass, dude. They just like, those people are just babies. Shut up. You like, you put a cool thing into your society and people are enjoying it clearly with those numbers and everything. Let people have fun. Shut up.
New celebrations for your culture. But for my viewers in the United States, I'll tell you right now, many of our holiday traditions are exactly this corporate in origin.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, fucking Santa Claus. Like the way that we see Santa Claus is based upon the Coca-Cola company, everybody. Santa is practically an invention of Coca-Cola. Not really, but you know what I mean.
A lot of the modern design of Santa Claus as we know him today was born from Coca-Cola ads.
Aloha, muchacho.
Oh, I guess I didn't put one in there. David Lynch almost directed Star Wars. I like this guy. I've seen a couple of videos of his. He does a lot of David Lynch stuff. So I was like, let me get this bad boy, see what we got.
Macho, what's the skinny? Hey, David, so George Lucas said he really liked Eraserhead and wants you to direct the next Star Wars movie. I have next door to zero interest in directing a laser sword.
I don't want to do any of that. That's no good for me.
Fight. I don't know, David. Those laser sword fights make a lot of money. As an up-and-coming young director, that's important to me. Okay, I'll go check it out. Yeah, so welcome to Skywalker.
I've never seen him do a George Lucas impression. This is good.
Ranch, David. It's a pleasure to be here, George.
I like it. David Lynch is just a fun character to do.
So, you want to direct my new Star Wars? Well, what's the story, Morning Glory? Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader are having their final battle in front of the Emperor on the second Death Star. Yeah, that's right, a second Death Star. They rebuilt it.
What the holy hell? There's another Death Star? No!
Meanwhile, the rebels are fighting with the Ewoks against the Empire on the planet moon of Endor. Andor? No, Endor, but I like that name. Maybe I'll use it for something.
I would love that would be how that came about. That would be some great lore.
Later. Anyway, Luke and Leia are twin siblings.
Siblings, eh? Didn't they kiss in the last movie?
Yeah. Yeah, about that. I planned the trilogy from the beginning. I planned 9 films, if I'm quite frank. I planned 9 films from the beginning, says George Lucas. What a crock of crap.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
I'm getting a headache, George.
Hey, look at this lightsaber.
That's fine and dandy, Georgie, but why do you want me to direct your movie?
I think you could bring a unique and dreamy vision to my little space fantasy.
He would, but it would...
franchise. Like, imagine if Yoda looked like the baby from Eraserhead. Wouldn't that be interesting?
A baby Yoda, huh? Sounds fucking stupid.
Imagine a David Lynch.
Who would want to see a baby Yoda in any way, shape, or form?
Directed Wookiee.
Oh, I don't want to.
I like how George has a little hyperventilating laugh here and everything. That's
like, is that a Wookiee or is it a surrealist, hairy fever, dream, sleep, paralysis demon?
Oh my god, shut the fuck up about the Wookiees, George. My headache's getting worse.
All right, well, why don't we take a ride in my Ferrari and get lunch?
Aren't you an infamous speed demon, you?
Greatly exaggerated, David. Let's ride.
We'll get there in
not true at all. He was very much a speed demon. That boy liked racing cars.
In 12 parsecs. You are gonna kill us.
So, what did you order?
I don't know, George. The menu says they only serve salad here.
Oh, yeah. It is.
David likes a hamburger.
Only salad.
I have a migraine now.
So, back to the movie. What do you think?
Honestly, you should direct it. You invented everything about it. It should be your vision.
Darn it. Well, if we're being honest, I don't like to direct. I'm kind of bad at it.
Oh, well, if it's any consolation, George Lucas, I think you're a swell director.
Thanks, David Lynch. Make sure to think about it. This laughter makes me uneasy.
David, you're back. So what, are we making hundreds of millions on this new Star Wars or what? Fuck no, I'm not doing it. But
fuck no.
David, that's a lot of money you said no to. It didn't feel right, and you know my rule. If it doesn't feel right, then I won't do it. Why don't you give me a different space fantasy franchise? Anything but Star Wars. Okay, well, how about Dune? Oh, now that I can Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
My dad has always been upset that George Lucas made American Graffiti before he did. And as my dad says, that was my life. That's pretty great. And I've always thought that there needs to be more films that are kind of like that are very indicative of that time, that make people go like, that have that same sort of reaction of like, fuck, this is basically like my story here. The closest that I've had to something like that, as far as like kind of feel wise and everything, that like I didn't live this life by any stretch of the imagination, but mid 90s I thought carried like very much the vibe of that era and stuff. And I didn't grow up in Southern California. I grew up in a tiny little town in South Carolina. But there were many kind of just parallels and feels that I got while watching that movie. It was just like, oh, this is a guy who is my age.
This video is going to be a little niche, but we're doing it anyway.
All right, I like a niche stuff. What do we got?
Video games that I would like to see adapted into movies, but only if done by certain directors.
Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. Video game adaptations into film have a rocky history. Only of recent have they gotten halfway decent with like your Sonics and your Marios and stuff like that. But I think even some people would have something to say against those movies. But let's see what she's got.
Let's go. I want to see Among Us directed by Ridley Scott.
What? Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm trying to envision it.
I want Mist directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
I could see that. Yeah. Like, yeah, okay.
I want to see Tim Burton's Pajama Sam.
I don't know what Pajama Sam is.
Spike Lee's Freddy Fish.
I don't know what this is.
And while we're in the 90s, I want Wes Anderson's Putt Putt Saves the Zoo.
Am I not a gamer? Am I not a gamer? What's going on? I mean, I've been gaming for 35 years. What the fuck is this?
I want Christopher Nolan's Katamari, and I want Stanley Kubrick's Super Monkey Ball.
Stanley Kubrick's Super Monkey Ball. Yes. Okay, we're starting up strong, but now I'm not down with this.
Scorsese can have Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Martin Scorsese does Roller Coaster Tycoon. Hey, listen, he did. You know, he's done. He did The Aviator. I feel, what's that if not roller coasters in the air, right?
I think Grim Fandango by Jordan Peele would be crazy.
I could see that.
And I want Psychonauts by the Wachowski sisters.
Controversial statement. But I'd rather see it done by the Wachowski brothers because I think they did better work as the brothers. I know, whatever. Y'all can cancel me for it if you want, but I think it's true.
Coen brothers doing RimWorld? Maybe. And I think we should give Zelda to Guillermo del Toro.
That's not a bad choice. Guillermo del Toro to do Zelda, I think, would be a decent one because I think he would probably be the person to get like Ganon and all the bad guys and stuff like that. I think he would be able to get the vibe of that really good. I don't know how well he would deliver on Link and kind of the Zelda sort of aspect of it all, but I think he would do amazing on getting, you know, the monsters and stuff looking good. You're not a Steam gamer, I suppose not. No, listen, I told you I want to play that movie theater simulator game there. I can't. I'm a Windows boy.
Spielberg.
Or I'm not a Windows boy.
Could do Spyro. Show me Sofia Coppola's Life is Strange.
So yeah, that would be a good one, and I think that she would actually probably do a good job with Life is Strange. Yeah.
And lastly, Francis Ford Coppola can do Animal Crossing.
It'd be the first thing that Francis Ford Coppola has made that got money back at the box office in the last 25 years. I'd suggest I strongly suggest he do that.
Okay, am I taking any questions at this time? No. Let me know in the comments what video game you would like to see directed by whom, and maybe Hollywood will make it. And if they do, they won't give us anything. I just
Yeah, that's some bullshit, ain't it?
realized after making this that I'm probably pissing off both the film bros and the video game bros. So if you want to come for me, don't worry. Tarantino can do Infinity Nikki.
I don't even know what
Okay, bye.
And the Tex Murphy series is enough like a movie that it doesn't need an adaptation.
I just discovered Indian Pennywise exists.
What? All right, man. India's wild with their remakes and their adaptations, if you will. Let's see what wackiness they got in store for us. All right, instead of coming out of the sewers, we're coming out of a pool because apparently that's what we could afford. Clearly a reverse shot. That's great.
Hey, dude. Hey, dude.
He looks like Cookie the Clown from Bozo. You remember Cookie? Cookie was the most depressed clown I've ever seen in my entire life. Cookie looked like he needed to be on suicide watch constantly. It's like, how you have a clown where, like, A, he bald, B, he's, like, sad. I knew of all people you'd know Cookie. Of course you know Cookie. Get out of here, dog. Cookie. Cookie out to, like, you know, tell you what all the prizes were for the grand prize game. Do you want this scratcher from the lotto ticket? Come on. Could be millions.
Oh, no.
I think we've over-chlorinated the pool, Mom. Yeah, Pennywise is in any suburban backyard pool. All right, I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's a little scary. Yeah, listen, I'm down with that. I was never on the show, but I'm still very good at getting ping pong balls into buckets. Man, you ever see somebody couldn't get the first bucket in the grand prize game? Whew, it is a rough one. They let that you got to get the first one. They like if you can't get the first bucket in the grand prize game, number one, you should probably be put out to pasture if we're quite frank. But they'd be like, no, do it again. I swear I saw some little girl do it 3 times and couldn't hit the damn bucket. They eventually put it through. Did she hit the second bucket? No, and they put her on to the next, train to wherever. But it was a sad state of affairs.
These are the scariest films ever made.
That's a bold statement, sir. What do you got?
According to science.
According to science. What do they know about scary?
Every year, the Science of Scare Project curates a list of the most terrifying English language films.
Do they put them in are they measuring tumescence? What are we doing? How do you gauge this?
And puts them in a panel of 250. From there, they use a scare score system that combines both heart rates and heart rate variance while
So not what I said.
Watching these movies. So here are the top 50, and I'm going to go through them kind of fast. All right, we are starting off with a new one with Weapons at 50. 49 is also a new one with The Conjuring Last Rites. 48.
No. Come on, that's bullshit. The movie ain't been out for 2 minutes, and you saw 250 and they made the top 50? That's fucking stupid.
8, Oculus. There is a tie between The Grudge and 28 Days Later. 45 is Saw X. 44, Longlegs.
Oh, God, Saw X. Saw X is dog shit. As is Longlegs, gotcha.
3, Lights Out.
I like Lights Out. That should be a little higher comparatively to some of these.
42, Immaculate. 41 is Evil Dead Rise. 40.
Hey, actually, Evil Dead Rise is pretty good. Evil Dead Rise is I like that one.
Is Paranormal Activity 2, which I don't really agree.
Paranormal Activity 2 better than Paranormal Activity 1. Paranormal Activity 3 even better than Paranormal Activities 1 and 2. Paranormal Activity 4 no good. Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, I'd say as good as 2.
Agree with that one. 39 I also don't agree with. The Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project is great. You're wrong.
38 I really don't agree with The Conjuring.
The first you didn't say shit about The Conjuring Last Rites, but the actual Conjuring, the good one, you're like, no, that movie kicks ass, dude. What are you talking about?
The Devil Made Me Do It. 30.
Oh, The Devil Made Me Do It. That one. Oh, well, that's fine. That's a different one. I thought we were just calling The Conjuring. I was like, you hate The Conjuring. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, the sequel. No, then fine. Yeah, fair.
7 is It Chapter 1. 36 is The.
Then that means It Chapter 2 ain't getting in on the list.
Visit from M. Night Shyamalan. 35 is actually surprising with The Exorcist and
35. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it here. According to science, The Exorcist is 35. The 35th scariest movie of all time. So you're telling me you got 34 more movies that are better, that are scarier than The Exorcist? Now, okay. Let's hear it.
Something that's always on the top of people's lists. 34 is The Nun 2.
The Nun 2 is scarier than The Exorcist, according to science. This is why you shouldn't believe in science. I'm a science denier. I'm going to say it here right now. Global warming, not real. And this survey, also not real. Moon landing, not real. Yeah, listen, I'm going in the whole hog. I don't care.
33 is Hush. 32 is Insidious, The Red Door. 31 is one of the greatest movies ever made.
It's not even like the original ones. It's the shit sequels.
Made with Halloween. Somehow, A Nightmare on Elm Street is over that at number 30.
Nightmare on Elm Street's a better movie than Halloween. Got him.
29 is Barbarian. 28, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay.
One of my favorites. 27 is A Quiet Place, which I don't agree with.
It's not that scary. According to science? No.
With as well, because I like the sequels better. 26 is Stop Motion. That movie actually messed me up. 25 is Terrifier 3. 24.
I like Terrifier 3.
Bring Her Back.
Good.
That movie is terrifying.
That movie is that's a scary movie, everybody. That Bring Her Back is a scary movie because you're sitting there going like, oh Jesus, you're on edge the entire time. Mommy is another one that's kind of like that, where you're just sitting there going, Jesus, what the fuck is happening here?
23 is Terrifier 2. 22 is The Ring. 21 is Oddity. Watch Oddity.
I don't know what Oddity is. I didn't see that one.
20 is Insidious 2. 19 is Autopsy of Jane Doe. 18 is A Quiet Place 2. Okay. Number 17, The Babadook. 16.
None of these movies are scarier than The Exorcist, by the way.
16, Paranormal Activity. That has not aged well.
It has. It's fine. It's fine. And again, the marked ones makes you like that movie even better. That's all I'll say.
15 is The Descent. There's also another three-way tie with The Dark and the Wicked.
A three-way tie is bullshit. I don't know what The Dark and the Wicked is. It Follows is great.
Follows and The Conjuring 2. Number 11 is Hell House LLC.
Never seen any of the Hell House movies. They've made a shit ton of them, which either tells me they're decent enough or they're absolutely dog shit and they don't cost anything to make and they keep on making them. Have any of you guys seen those Hell House LLC movies? Again, there's a shitload of them, but I don't know where to start or how to start and if I should.
10 is Talk to Me. 9.
I still got Talk to Me on DVD. Hadn't watched it yet.
9 is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. You know, the court procedural that has a couple jump scares.
Yeah, that's one of the scariest movies of all time. It's in the top 15.
Number 8 is
it's in the top 10.
Smile.
Smile's good. I like Smile over Smile 2. A lot of people really like Smile 2 better. I think they're wrong.
Number 7 is Smile 2, which I like.
Fucking what?
A lot better than Smile.
Yeah, I told you they liked it. He's wrong, but it's fine if you like that stuff.
Number 6 is Hereditary. Number 5 is The Conjuring. Okay. Number 4 is Insidious.
Okay. Again, I don't know why people like Insidious that much. That series is not really great. I don't particularly think they're scary. I think they're stupid. We're in this like, meh. It felt bad.
Number 3, a lot of people are going to have some thoughts on this one with Skinamarink.
Oh my God. Kiss my ass, bro. This is bullshit. That one of the worst movies in the past 20 years, dude. Skinamarink is a piece of garbage disguised itself as art. It's a jackfest. Oh, Alex loves Hell House LLC. Okay. The scariest film, The Unplanned Pregnancy Ultrasound Video. Oh my God.
Number 2 is Host. And number 1 of
like the Korean film Host, the one with the big monsters. There's got to be another one that they talk about. I don't think they talk about that one.
Of course, is Sinister.
Sinister. I like Sinister, except the only problem I have with Sinister is The Last Shot, because The Last Shot is very what I'm going to call early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s evocative, where in the last frame of the thing, something woof, pumps at the screen and then it's like, ugh. You had me up until that last little like, hey, we're gonna get you with one little cheap jump scare at the end. Ha ha ha. Shut up.
While it's not my personal list, do you agree with this list? And what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
No, the Stephanie Meyer Host. Yeah, listen, those movies aren't scarier than The Exorcist. Get out of here.
Can you guess the horror movie from these clues?
Ooh, okay. Let's see how I do this week, everybody.
Welcome back to What Is It Wednesday, the horror movie trivia game where you get 6 clues to guess the horror movie, with the first clue being as vague as possible.
All right. I did okay last week, as far as anyone here is concerned.
And the last clue pretty much gives the movie away. If you want to catch up on previous weeks of this trivia, the playlist is on my page. All right, let's get started. And don't forget to pause the video after every clue for a chance to answer.
I will. Come on. What do you think? I'm a newbie here?
Here's your first clue. This movie has a 3.8 rating on Letterboxd, a 7.7 on IMDb, and it is a 97% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Shawshank Redemption. I'm calling it now. I'm Babe Ruthin towards the stands. Shawshank. I'm going with it.
Here's your second clue. The score for this horror film is credited to the
I didn't realize you said horror, and so I have to change my answer.
Bowling Green Philharmonic Orchestra. Here's your third clue. This horror movie was primarily filmed in the suburbs of South Pasadena, California. Here's your fourth clue. The original script was titled The Babysitter Murders.
Halloween? It's just Halloween?
Here's your 5th clue. The main antagonist is known as The Shape. Here's your 6th clue. This horror film was released in 1978 and has the initial H. With Halloween right around the corner, the horror movie for this trivia was obvious. The correct answer is Halloween. If you said Halloween, go to the comments and let me know what clue you got it on.
He got it earlier. Trillian got it earlier than the chat would let on, because there's a bit of a delay there and everything. So good on you, man.
To this day, I always...
Oh, look, it's my birthday, buddy, Jack Nicholson. That's right. Me and Jack Nicholson share the same birthday. So if ever indeed, before he checks out of this immortal coil, if I get to meet Jack Nicholson, I'm going to be like, hey, man, me and John Waters got the same birthday. Isn't that weird?
Took this performance more seriously than probably anybody in the world.
And I'm going to tell you something straight up, too. Especially during this era, this is one of the bigger roles where Jack Nicholson does care. He does care in the Joker role. He is giving it 1,000%. He also, I think, realizes that he's getting some back end on this. Jack Nicholson got some merchandising rights, which is unheard of for anyone to get. And he made money off of that. So maybe he was looking at that paycheck, eyeballing that paycheck, and going like, we got to make something good out of this. I like it's great. It's an iconic performance, no doubt, and really one of his better movie performances, certainly of that era.
I looked at it that way. My early experience told me from working for an audience full of children, the more you scare them, the more they like it. The worse you are, the better. Because that was my response to the Joker. After all, this is a hateful occurrence, this man. And you looked at it literally. Every kid loves this guy, I believe. And I particularly love just the...
Yeah, the Joker is a fantastic, iconic character. And it's a reason that we continue to go on with him as a Batman villain and everything. Because he really is that kind of great yin to Batman's yang and everything. He's so good, uncontrolled chaos and whatnot, but done through the lens of a very intelligent man. And that is something that I think is still always ultimately frightening to people, is someone who is not only crazy and wild and unhinged as far as, a mental capacity goes, but at the same time, he's also extremely brilliant. And someone that is smart and psychotic at the same time is something that you have to absolutely watch out for. And the Joker is that ultimate manifestation of just chaos and but wrapped in an intelligence that is kind of under talked about.
Name Joker, it's fantastic.
Nicholson gets away with it. Gets in the way. And let's start again. Nicholson gets it in a way adults now usually don't. Kids can police themselves for what scares them. That's true. That is very true. And it can change, and you never know what might actually be it. And you may never know the thing that would transfer them to a horror fan and stuff like that. I was one of those kids.
Owning physical media is ontologically evil.
What?
If you watch a TV show in the 90s, it will be filled with casual racism.
No, we can't have any of that.
With casual homophobia, with casual sexism.
But those were always fun things.
I actually don't want that to be preserved.
No, you gotta throw them away. Burn them. Burn all them movies and stuff. If it's unacceptable for today's morals and standings and everything, it must be destroyed.
It's like, I'm sorry, the only ethical way to consume this media, to consume anything made before 2020, is to see it on Netflix. Where the harmful messages have been taken out.
Thank God. Netflix is the new clean flicks.
There is a content warning beforehand.
By the way, there are some outdated thoughts. We just want to let you know that we don't approve of these thoughts. In fact, we damn these thoughts, and we don't want anything to do with them.
And modern standards of, oh, I don't know, basic human decency are applied to all people. I actually don't want bigotry to be preserved. That's not—
throw it out!
Not preservable media to me. I want that to be lost. I want your hatred to be lost media. I mean, sure, you can probably still see it, but in a museum. We know now that—
But in a museum, that is the only time with which it is acceptable. I agree.
those themes, those messages, those cause harm. Those messages existing in media, that causes harm to marginalized communities in a very tangible way.
It makes sense. It makes nothing but sense.
It was wrong 20 years ago, and it's equally wrong today.
No. I'd go so far as to say it's even worse.
That's why we take them out. That's why we don't preserve the edgy jokes. When you own physical media, that hatred, that harm, that is crystallized in time.
We're learning a lot tonight, and I think I need to reevaluate some things. I think this might be satire. I think you're correct. Demolition Man territory. You've been fined 1 credit for violation of the verbal morality statute. No! I can't be fined. I don't have any money. I make $400,000 a year. Has anyone seen this? Paddington is now on Broadway, everybody. And they got a little bear, and it's all animatronicized. Watch this shit. This is gonna make it, oh my gosh. That's just a small little clip, but hold on.
Oh my goodness. This is my first time meeting him.
It's very nice to meet you.
It's Paddington.
He don't know what to do. I mean, like, listen, I did not grow up with Paddington. Like, I was aware of, like, the little bear with the hat and all that kind of stuff, and the vagaries of the story of him being left in the subway and everything. I knew of it, but was never, like, you know, I was too old. Whatever, wasn't my thing. So I saw the movies and everything, and I really, really enjoyed the first one. The second one is even better, obviously. The third one's good too. But I could only imagine for somebody that kind of grew up in an era in a portion of the world where Paddington kind of came from and everything, so it's kind of really ingrained within their culture and stuff like that. So I can only imagine what meeting this little animatronic guy would be like.
I don't really
animatronic with a person in the costume, obviously.
know what to say. I'm having a little moment here.
Take your time. How has your day been?
He goes, I don't even know how to feel. And the little guy goes, take your time. Oh my gosh. But again, that's clearly somebody that's had to deal with the interactions with people and is starting to kind of be like, listen, this is how people are going to be reacting to this.
It's been amazing. This is a real privilege. You're enjoying being on stage. Tell me where we are at the moment.
We're in Mr. Gruber's shop, which is full of curiosities.
Pretty crazy. The eyes blink and everything goes there. Sometimes I watched an episode of Paddington on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. And there you go. Yeah, it's one of those. I think you'd see something like that. You'd see like a little Paddington cartoon, and it just seems so slow and Britishy that it was just like, I don't know. What are we doing here?
This is what your favorite feature on Letterboxd says about you.
We've had a lot of letterbox things. Let's see what we got.
If yours is lists, then you're probably a very hyper-organized person, and
I would like to be a list person, but I'm not. It's one of those things where I just sit back and I just go like, oh, all right, here we go. I'm going to put out a list, and like every movie that I watch, I'm going to put that down for this year and put this in a big giant list, and I'm going to blah, 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 blah. It never works out. I'm lazy like that.
In your kitchen, you have a spice rack, which is labeled from A to Z. You probably also create a list of all your new watches every single month and rank them from worst to best. Not that I would do that myself. If your favorite feature is constantly changing posters, then you probably think you're a really aesthetic person, but really you're just making your basic Letterboxd top 4 look slightly more obscure. And if your favorite feature is constantly changing backdrops, then you... Sorry, what did you say? You don't have Letterboxd Pro or...
I do, but I don't really use any of those things though.
Patron. What do you do then when you're at a party and you feel awkward? Do you use the weather app instead? What do you mean you're not at the club changing the backdrop for a film that you don't even like because you feel too awkward to dance or talk to people? If that's really the case, then I think you need to make the most of their November sale from the 7th, which can get you 20% off the Pro subscription or the Patron subscription. This will just make it way easier to doomlog when you're feeling awkward in the club.
I've got whatever the subscription rate is. I don't know what I got, but I paid them money mostly just to not have ads. All the other switching and the other things and stuff like that, I haven't really messed into any of that, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. If you would like to sponsor this show, Letterbox, why don't you go ahead and drop us an email at halfassmoviepod@gmail.com. That's it, everybody. Another TikTok Trash Tuesday is in the books here and everything, and I want to thank you guys for hanging out in the chat and talking and yapping and all that kind of good stuff. And again, if you haven't, do me a big old giant favor and hit that like and subscribe button as well as that bell notification so we know when we got brand new things coming out. I just got Hard Boiled in the mail, so I'm going to be watching that soon. So I'll have a quick little review on that next week and everything. We'll do all kinds of fun stuff. That is it, everybody. Join me back here next week for yet another TikTok Trash Tuesday, and we'll see you then. Let me get my... Come on there, fella. Get the thing right. See you next week, everybody.